All right, we're now being joined by our student athletes from Tulsa, Shaquille Harrison and James Woodard. Just a couple things before we start. Please silence your cell phones. There's also no video recording allowed, but there are AV sites just across the hall, back of the room, right across the tunnel. There's no flash photography allowed as well, and we also ask that you keep your audio recording devices off the table. For transcripts of these press conferences, you can go to ncaa.com/transcripts. We're also sending out hard copies of the quotes right here in the back on this table and just to the left of the entrance to the media work area, which is upstairs, back up the tunnel. When asking your question, just raise your hand. We'll bring the mic around. Identify yourself by name and affiliation. And then we do ask that you please direct your question to a specific student athlete. So we'll open the floor for questions. Here in the front on the left.
This question is for both of you guys. Harold Kuntz, KOTV. Still a little bit in kind of a shock that you're still coming to Dayton. I know, Shaq, you were on Twitter the night before, was talking about how you thought you were headed to NIT, but you're still kind of in shock that you're in the NCAAs and ready to take advantage of with all the motivation that a lot of people have given you, just kind of a little bit of disrespect toward Tulsa.
Shaq, can you answer that first?
Well, yeah, we were 5-5 against the teams in the tournament, so we felt pretty confident. We had a chance to get it at a large bid. I mean, it was up in the air. You never know with the committee, so it was kind of we just didn't know. So, I mean, at the time, we were just hoping to get in a tournament. We finally got that chance, so we tried to take advantage of it.
James?
Like Shaquille said, we played a pretty decent schedule. Once you look back at it, play some great teams. We have a great league, and we just fortunate to be here, man. We're gonna take advantage of this opportunity.
Here on the left.
Kelly Hines, Tulsa World. For both of you guys, being seniors, how special is this? I know y'all made the tournament 2 years ago, but now that y'all are seniors, and you know your careers are coming to a close soon, how much are you able to kind of take all this in?
James?
It's a very special moment for us, 9 seniors, very veteran-led team. This could be our last end of stretch for our seasons and careers, and it's just a great opportunity for us, and we got to use our veteran led team as an advantage in this tournament because we've been around a long time, we've seen every situation, and we're just glad to be here.
Shaquille?
Yeah, just piggyback off what James said. We're very fortunate, and we're very happy to be here. This is a tournament you look up to as a little kid, that when you want to play Division I basketball, you think of the NCAA tournament. So it's just a real honor to be here.
Here on the aisle again.
Considering you guys had a lot of bubble talk, maybe the focus was to not pay much attention to it, but now with all the talk of, all those pundits, shall we say, giving you a lot of, shall we say, disrespect, do you want to, does it give you more motivation looking more at those reports and everything, saying you more motivation to go out and win?
Shaquille?
Yeah, at the time, the bubble talks and that, but honestly, we talked as a team, that's a distraction, honestly, so we just try to fray away from that, stay away there, and focus on us and focus on working hard and getting better each and every day and just keep taking it on one game at a time.
James?
Yeah, it's like Shaquille said, it can be used as motive, but we look at it as a distraction. We're gonna focus on ourselves, focus on Tulsa basketball, and we're gonna prepare for a good Michigan team here tomorrow, and that's what we're gonna do.
Here in the front.
Shaq, y'all have gone up against a lot of good three-point shooting teams. How do you think that prepared y'all for a team like Michigan?
Prepared us as a team pretty well. I mean, got teams like SMU and Temple that can shoot the ball really well, so it kind of compares up to Michigan, and they can shoot the ball really well. And they're a good team, and they're in the Big Ten, so they've seen a lot as well. So this would be a big challenge.
Here on the right, on the end.
Hey, for both of you guys, did you guys watch the selection show, or were you kind of frustrated thinking, probably not going to happen?
Shaq, can you answer that first, please?
Yeah, a couple guys. We didn't watch it together. We were watching it separately, and everybody watching. I mean, like we said, we knew we had a chance, but we just wasn't for sure. So, and then when we saw our names, it was the greatest day. So.
James?
Yeah, we was all kind of spread out. I mean, a couple guys were together, and we just didn't know. Being a bubble team, you just never know. And once we saw our name, it was like the greatest feeling, man. We was relieved and excited to be here.
Honestly, just going from past histories and what happened in tournament and everything, just kind of just into the media. Just I felt like we had a great schedule game. I felt like we deserved to be here and everything, but how things were looking, how people were talking, that was just kind of my where my mind was at the time.
Anything further for our student athletes? Any more questions? All right, Shaquille and James, thank you for your time. Good luck tomorrow night against Michigan. Next scheduled start of a press conference is 1:10. We will be joined by Frank Haith, the head coach of Tulsa, at 1:10. good. All right, we are now being joined by the head coach of the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, Frank Haith. We just ask that you please silence your cell phones. And there's no video recording or flash photography allowed. For transcripts of this press conference and all the other ones we have throughout the week, you can go to ncaa.com/transcripts. There's also hard copies of quotes at the back here on the table and upstairs next to the entrance to the media work areas. So, Frank, if you like, you can start with an opening statement.
Thank you.
And we'll open the floor for questions.
Well, it's obviously we're really excited about being here in Dayton. Our team this year, I thought, we were coming off an NIT appearance last year. The goal was to get to the tournament, and I felt good about where we were at going into the conference tournament in terms of what our numbers said we were at, but not knowing what the game in the first round of the tournament did to us, and we were just ecstatic to have an opportunity to continue to play in the NCAA tournament.
Questions for Coach Haith? Yeah, here in the back on the right.
Mark Snyder, Detroit Free Press. Sometimes in these tournaments, the opposing coaches say that it's hard to prepare for a John Beeline team on shorter notice. Is that something that you feel, or do you have some head start on that or something?
Well, Coach Beeline, I think, is a great coach, and I have a lot of respect for him. They do a lot of neat things offensively. When you prepare to play against them, first of all, they got 5 guys that can shoot the ball, which make them extremely difficult to defend. They have great screening actions, and our defense has to be on point to defend them. I think that they're as good an offensive team there is in the country. I think their numbers say that, and that's going to be a key for us. And for us to have success tomorrow night, we've got to do a tremendous job of guarding them. They are difficult to prepare for, and you're coming up on 2 or 3 days. But we got an older group, and I think we'll do our best and try to do a good job of. And the first thing we must do is get back and set our defense. They shoot sit-down threes, early offense, and we're going to have to do. We know they're going to make some shots, and the biggest thing with our guys is make sure all their shots are contested.
Here in the back on the right.
Brendan Quinn, MLive Media Group. I guess you've had other teams, you've taken other teams to the tournament. What is just the difference in the feeling in a locker room like right now when you have all these seniors? It's just such a unique deal.
It is. First of all, we're really blessed, and I'm really happy for those guys. I think it's a feeling of just all the hard work these guys have put in for 4 years. Have had some of them had 3 coaches. And but I think this team, they have a great bond of togetherness, and you feel a sense of just love for one another and excitement and about the opportunity. And as a coach, you love being a part of that, and I'm very grateful.
Follow up on the right.
So that I guess when you look back at what happened in the conference tournament, was it a matter of them being tight, worried about it being the last game, and why would it play out differently tomorrow? I
think here's the thing that I think happened, and it's we as a coach, and I think I'm like every coach, you want your guys not to listen to whatever want them to mute the TV, and every time they turn it on, there were bubble teams, and then there were conversation about what needed to be done for them to get in a tournament. I think our guys started to feel the pressures from that. I think, going into the games, Memphis game, I thought we got off to a pretty good start. And then once they were playing very well, we started to panic a little bit on both ends of the court. I thought we took quick shots. We didn't execute. I thought defensively we took ourselves out of plays, and we weren't disciplined. And with that said, I thought we felt the pressure a little bit of feeling like we had to win 1 game or 2 games or whatever it was that they thought what they were hearing to get in the NCAA tournament. And it showed on the court. I think there's no question, going back, watching that game, that's exactly what I felt about our team.
Here in the front and the right.
Tony Paul with the Detroit News. You mentioned it earlier, you are an experienced team. You have a lot of seniors. Some of them have been in here before. Michigan doesn't have a senior. How big is it to have experience this time of year? given that you do and Michigan doesn't?
Well, I don't know that I'm looking at comparing us to Michigan and what they don't have. I think I can only speak on what we do have, and I think that's a positive. We have an older group that's been through it a little bit in 4 years, and they've been in postseason for three of the 4 years. You know, we went to an NIT last year, and 2 years, excuse me. I think all I can speak on in terms of what it does for us, and I think it's a positive that we have an older group. You know, we'll just see how it plays out tomorrow night.
Here on the right on the aisle.
Frank, what's been your message to the team about kind of some of the noise they've faced? I know every year bubble teams are
Right.
kind of nitpicked, but this year it's kind of over the top with you guys. What's the message to the team?
I haven't paid, or is it really over the top, worse than the last year's? I just, you can't listen to it. You just got to worry about the controllables. And I think we've talked to our team about that all year. You know, things that we can control, our preparation, our continue to stay focused on what we need to do to have success. And you know, all that stuff will take care of itself. You know, there's going to be a team every year that everybody says they shouldn't have gotten in. And we're that team this year. So that's okay. That's behind us. We're here now. Let's go play the game.
Here on the right, in the back.
John was talking the other night about all the switching defenses you guys do. When you see what they do on film, is there anything that sticks out to you that you think is a particularly good matchup for you, one or many of your defenses?
Well, I think the reason we switch defenses is we try to keep people off balance. I don't think, you know, we're not overly big in size, and we don't have a lot of depth. Although we have all those seniors, we don't have a lot of depth in the post. So we do things to try to keep guys out of foul trouble. And I don't know that, you know, that's scouting report info. I'm not going to, whatever I think we had to do to take advantage of, or we feel like we have an advantage, I'm not going to talk about it in here. But I don't. Their team is so good offensively. You know, we're going to have to be, whatever we do, we've got to, you know, be attached to shooters, whether it be zone, man, three-quarter press, or whatever we do. We've got to know where the shooters are at.
Any further questions for Coach Haith? All right, Frank, thank you for your time. Good luck tomorrow night against Michigan.
Thank you.
And speaking of Michigan, the next scheduled start for a press conference is 1:35. We will be joined by some student athletes from Michigan. Again, that's at 1:35, so a little more than 15 minutes from now. All right, we're now being joined by Michigan Wolverine student-athletes Derek Walton Jr. and Zach Irvin. Just a couple things before we start. Please silence your cell phones. There is no flash photography or video recording allowed. There are AV distribution sites across the hall, though. For transcripts of this press conference and all the ones we have done and will do this week, you can go to ncaa.com/transcripts. We're also setting out hard copies of quotes at the back of this room, at the table right there, and also next to the media entrance of the media work area, which is upstairs. When asking a question, we ask that you please direct your question to a specific student-athlete. Raise your hand. We'll bring the mic around to you, and just identify yourself by name and affiliation. So we'll open the floor for questions. In the back, in the middle.
Hi, Shannon Miller from the University of Dayton. Could you just talk about the quick turnaround, again, finding out that you made the tournament, and then, what was going through your head, and then now you're here and got to play another game, and just not so many days after the Big Ten tournament?
Derek, if you can answer that first, and then Zach.
Yes, you can say it's a quick turnaround, but we just had prepared for it and just had went through it in the following week with 3 days of prep and 3 days of game. So at this point, we just fortunate that we get another opportunity to play, and we're gonna take it in stride and do what we do best and prepare as best as possible.
Zach.
Yeah, we're just excited to be here. When we heard our name get called, there's just so much excitement in the room. Just all our hard work be paid off in the committee that allow us in the tournament. Like I said, we're just grateful for the opportunity, and we can't wait to play tomorrow.
Yeah, in the back, Joe on the left.
Could both of you guys describe what this past week has been like for you with the two dramatic last-second shots to win and going from being kind of a bubble team to being in the tournament?
Zach.
That's March Madness for you. Us being able to beat Northwestern on a loud buzzer beater and IU, especially on a buzzer beater, Cam knocking down the corner. It's just so much excitement for our team, Like I said, just how much hard work we put into this season. We've had to go through a lot of adversity, so many ups and downs. But like I said, we're just grateful to be here, and we're excited. We're going to make the most of it.
Derek?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing he said. It's, those last two games were, really exciting, and to be a part of that is something I'll never forget. But like he said, that's, just what March is. Spectacular things happen around this time, and, we're fortunate enough that we're on the, high end of some of those, scenarios.
Yeah, Jay on the right, on the aisle.
Yeah, Jay Morrison, Dayton Daily News. With Spike and Karras out, you guys are really young. Do you think experience is overrated in this tournament, or do you guys think you're at a disadvantage?
Derek?
Well, experience definitely helps, but we're here now, and the excuses kind of go out the window, and we kind of roll what we have right now. So at this point, we just hoping to band together as a collective unit and play as best as possible, and click on as many cylinders as possible, and hopefully at the end of the day we're successful. The effort that we make.
Zach, yeah.
Yeah, we've gone most of the season without our two seniors, which is definitely tough because those are the two guys they've made it to the national championship. They've been to a Final Four, which they're doing as much as they can. Even though they're on the bench, I can hear them every possession we go on the court, whether it's offense or defensively. So they're doing as much as they can. Like I said, since we've gone half the season, Derek and myself had to step up to kind of take that senior role, and I think that's just brought a stronger bond with our team. We really just want to win for ourselves, but for our seniors as well.
Yeah, Jay, follow up.
It's always an interesting dynamic here to see who the Dayton people get behind in this tournament. Do you guys think it's going to be a little bit like a road game, kind of being in Buckeye country?
Zach?
We really don't know what to expect. Hopefully they're on our side, but you can definitely see it going the other way with us being in Ohio. But we're used to road games. We have like a road warriors mentality right now. So we're just going to try to stay together and stay close-knit as possible.
Derek?
Yeah, what he said, we are in Ohio, and, that rivalry stands. But, I think we have a pretty strong fan base ourselves and, alumni that come support us. So, I'm pretty sure we won't be alone out there. But, if, the Ohio natives, kind of outweigh us, we still going to, play, the same way we would if, they were on our side.
Any further questions for our student athletes? All right, Derek and Zach, thank you for your time. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
We will be joined next by the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, John Beeline, at 1:55. All right, we're now joined by the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, John Beilein. Coach, if you like, you can start with an opening statement. We'll open the
Yeah,
floor.
I feel like everyone that is here right now is very appreciative of what Dayton has done with this part of the tournament, and we're thrilled to be here. It certainly beats the alternative right now, and we know we have a tough task ahead of us. I have much respect for the Tulsa program, and playing against 9 seniors. I do not think we've had 9 seniors total in the last 4 or 5 years together. So there's a great amount of experience, and we're going to have to find a way to win despite that difference. So really got a quick, long team. That just really a good basketball team, or they wouldn't be here.
Questions for Coach Beilein? Yep, here in the back, on the right. Back row.
John, you talked Sunday, I guess, about Duncan and maybe the shot, the Big Ten tournament, maybe sort of validating why he's here, those kind of things. How have you sort of dealt with him from the psychological standpoint of the grind and the second half, the struggles, the shooting, et cetera?
There's many times, John, that I just looked at him almost like a freshman going through this for the first time, even though he's got a year of really playing good basketball in Division III at Williams, and a year with us sitting out. He hadn't seen the quickness, the length, the strength, the big men he has to shoot over, the scouting reports that he sees right now. And so you got 3 years to play at Michigan. There's a process you're going to go through, and without pressing too much, knowing that this summer will be very important. When this season is over, he's the type of worker that will really elevate his game, knowing what he knows now, how this season has gone. He's got 93s. Nick Stauska is topped off at 92 in 1 year. So, but Nick went to the foul line 200 times, and Duncan does not come close to that. So there's a whole bunch of things he's working at.
Here in the front right.
John, how have you seen, obviously Mo got in that Indiana game. How have you seen him develop this year? And, do you wish maybe he could have gotten a few more minutes earlier in the season, early Big Ten season? Or where do you see him in his growth right now?
Well, he's been going through like what most freshmen, and I mean a true 18-year-old freshman. He's still 18 right now. And with his body growing, I think when the Big Ten hit him, the bodies in the Big Ten were difficult for him to play defensively. You are who you can guard. And he was really having issues with that early. And as he got more comfortable with it in practice, we were more willing to put him in these last few games. No, I think that this season was a great learning experience for him, that he's got to show us in practice every day that he can do a whole lot in the game. He works really hard in practice, but he's still got some flaws, as we all do, that he's trying to clean up. And I'm glad that no matter what happens with the rest of the season, he's ending the season, I think, in a positive direction.
Following up, has there been a single foul called on him that he agreed with that
Never,
you've seen?
never. No, this is a European thing. You watch soccer, the whole deal. It is every foul. It is, every foul is always, there's drama involved in everything. We talked to him a long time about taking the drama out of his game.
Here on the right, on the end.
John, I know this really doesn't concern you, but coming into rival territory a little bit, what kind of a crowd are you expecting tomorrow?
I was asked that question the other day, and I think everybody assumed because we're close by, we're a Midwestern team, that people would gravitate to us. And I do not expect that to happen. These are college basketball fans here that are coming to this game. Certainly we'll have Michigan fans, and they'll have Tulsa fans, but they're college basketball fans. But most of them reside in the state of Ohio. So I would assume that this is one time you're 3 hours from home, and Tulsa's how many hours from home? 16, 18, 20 hours from home. I do not think we'll have a home advantage, and that's okay.
You're on the right on the end.
Hey, John, now that you're here, you see it, you feel it, how would you describe the differences between This
no difference.
Okay.
Really no. Here's the big difference is the prep time of it turning around so quickly and playing right away, especially given the fact that we played on Saturday in the Big Ten tournament, balancing the rest and getting ready for a team that has multiple looks, multiple players, 9 seniors. It's difficult to prepare for. So we're trying. If anything, we'll be guilty of under-preparing in this game, just so it's not confusing.
In the back? In the middle? Yeah, there is. Hold on.
John, it's a pretty stark contrast from 2 years ago when you guys are number 2 and now you're kind of sliding in. Do you talk about that with like the guys who went through it and like the difference in the tournament and the atmosphere and stuff?
No, not really. I mean, we are. That occurred to me this morning that 2 guys on this team. It was just 2 years ago, and there's only 2 guys playing this game that have ever played in an NCAA tournament game, and that occurred to me this morning. And as we were going through all the things that they have to do with the press conferences and all these things. So no, we're not talking about this. Like I said, we really feel good that we were able to get back into the tournament, given our circumstances the last couple of years, and feel good about the momentum we have going into this.
You're on the right, on the end.
I was just talking with Spike, and he mentioned that he kind of felt as if now getting in kind of gave guys a sense of having a new life, and he actually kind of compared it to the Final Four year, the skid you went on, and then you just needed to get into the tournament. What would be your response to that? Do you see what he's talking about?
I think that getting into the tournament, certainly for everybody, especially if you're waiting to find out what you're going to be doing, there's a sense of relief that you're in, that you're excited. And then next you go into, okay, we're going to just go and do everything we can to win one game at a time. There's no tomorrow, and I know that's coach speak, but there's no tomorrow. So now you go out there and give it everything that you have instead of dealing with the what ifs, right? The what if is if you win, you advance. If you lose, you go home. And whatever happens, we just have done our absolutely best.
Any further questions for Coach Beeline? All right, John,
Okay,
thanks for
thanks.
your time. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.